Hello, ComancheNative here, and I'm playing Texas Chainsaw Massacre. In this video, we are going to go over some basics and Grandpa's 101, so please enjoy.
For the family now, it's up to you to secure the property and stop victims from escaping. The family's way of life depends on it. Keep all doors locked and make sure all exits are closed, trapped, or guarded. Make sure to monitor crucial pieces of equipment like generators, the fuse box, and the water valve pump. The status of these items play a huge role in whether or not victims will have an easy path to escape. Make sure to collect blood from drainage buckets scattered around the map, or by attacking victims directly. Feed this newly acquired blood to Grandpa to make him stronger and more effective. The stronger he is, the more powerful his sonar ability will become. Pretty soon he'll be finding and highlighting victims for the whole family to see. Feed Grandpa enough, and he'll give the family new abilities that can be used for the rest of the match. Remember, Grandpa is the best killer that ever was. Hunt down the victims using abilities and teamwork. Look for signs of movement and listen for noise. Pay attention to your surroundings and keep your eyes and ears open. You never know where one of those victims might be hiding. Speaking of abilities, each family member has a unique ability that can help hunt and track down victims. Careful though. Some abilities have limited quantities, while others are on a cooldown. So hunt wisely. Once you locate or find a victim, make sure you have a plan. Try to set up ambushes or catch them off guard. The direct approach isn't always the best, so use your fellow family members when possible. But once your plan unfolds and you get them within range, hit them, then hit them again. And remember, if you do manage to successfully hit or execute a victim, take that blood to Grandpa. He's hungry and needs his strength in order to help you. Oh, don't let a single victim escape. After all, we win as a family or we lose as a family.
Alright, family, have a seat. Let's talk about exits. And of course, you victims who may be watching as well, you probably know exactly where these are already. Each map has 4 exits that victims can use to escape the family. These are slightly different per level, but it fits into the following categories: road exits, rear gate exits, fuse box exits, valve exits. Each type requires a specific interaction to open for the victims to escape. You must explore the property, find items, interact with those objects in the environment, and discover the different ways to open these escape routes to stay alive. Now, I already heard some victims complaining about how long it takes to kick the generator. And from what I heard, it depends on your strength. If a victim is strong, they can kick this generator a lot quicker. This right here, oh goodness, this right here requires a little bit of math. Just a little bit of math. They need the fuse that, oddly enough, is just laying around the property, and they put it into the circuit board. They have to do a little bit of math with color coordination, and then they can just flip that switch and the basement exit will open. Now we can interact with this fuse, but there is a cooldown. Now this road exit is kind of funny. It really is, because once they kick that generator, she can just escape. No problem. The cooldown for the generator is very long. It is. In my opinion, it may be just a little too long. Let's talk about securing the property. Each map has 4 exits that victims will try to use to escape the property. You are going to need to secure and guard them all to make sure victims cannot leave. First is the road exit. This is a cattle grid protecting this. Now, what is cattle grid protecting? Well, it's a grid designed to stop cattle from crossing it. Now, I saw a streamer ask if electrifying that grid is what farmers do today. No. 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 Only the family does this. And they don't care about cattle. They care about you, the victim. But the family will need to remember to turn on the connecting generator or it is useless. Again, the generator is already turned on. The cattle grid is already electrified, but the cooldown is what you're going to have to wait for. And it is very long, just so you know. Generators are found close by. Just follow the power cable from the cattle grid. Now, this power cable, anyone can see. Family as well as victims. If you are wondering, well, where is it at? Where is it? Just look at the bright yellow cable wire and you'll find it. Again, the generator, all of it, the cooldown is very long. If victims turn off the generator, the family can turn it back on once it has cooled down. Until then, someone should stand guard and be on the lookout. I've never had anyone stab me while I was trying to turn on the generator, because they're running out the door. Now, this right here, the car battery, it takes a while to get down there, but they can escape from this area. Next is the back of the property. The gate is locked and connected to a car battery to shock victims if they try to leave. You need to make sure it's turned on. Okay, it's already turned on now. Before the updates, the car battery, you had to go and turn it back on, and I guess a lot of people were wondering, well, if it's the family, why do we have to turn it back on? Trust me, it's a good thing that it is turned on automatically. Why? Trying to run from the front property to the back, whew, you can get out of breath, and by the time you're turning the battery on, the action is already happened at the house. So I'm glad that they fixed that. Thank you so much for fixing it. Again, if the victims turn this off, the family can jump start the battery to send power back to the cattle grid. Again, look out for the victims close by or try to escape. Sorry, look out for victims close by or trying to escape. No, I read that correctly. Okay. Now, what they mean by jump start, it's not like a regular jump start. Don't think, oh, you got to pull a car up. But no. You just hold square and then a slow turn on. That's it. You got to press it down and that's it. I'll turn it back on. See, it's really, this is a victim escaping, so they're turning it off. That's what they're doing. And when the light is green, that means you are in trouble. If you are the family members, because that means someone is escaping. If the light is green for the victim, that means you are cleared to go home. So go home. Don't stay there and try to get gate tackles or gate stunts. Just go home. Sorry. There is also a water pressure gate. This is connected to a pressure valve and tank. If the pressure is released, then the gate will open for a short time before the system resets. This is what I call running of the bulls. Now, this isn't it. This is it right here. This right here. You will see steam come out of this propane tank. And it's an automatic door, like you'll automatically turn on. But you can You could turn it off if you're lucky enough. Let's just say that, okay? If you are extremely lucky. Make sure victims do not get the valve handle is the key to protecting this exit. If you see steam coming from the system, get to the valve and turn it off to stop the gate from opening. Now, what they don't say is beware. The victims will be hiding and they are going to stab you in the back. Turn this valve before it hits green, then you're good. That's why some victims will stab you in the back to stop this. If they stab you one time in the back, that temperature gauge keeps moving. It does not stop. But if it hits green, the doors are open and they escape. Turning this thing is extremely hard. Like, there's no way this person made it. Oh, what? They turned it off before it hit green? That must be PC. I get stabbed in the back one time, and I'm turning the valve, trying to close it, and it just hits that green, and then that's it. I kind of saw just a little bit how it sped up at the end there. Lucky them, lucky them. It takes some time for the gate to open once pressure is released, so use this to your advantage. This is what I call running of the bulls. Because the gate automatically opens, and they just rush on out, you know. I think it's fun. I do, but if you do put traps down, if you are a hitchhiker and you put traps down, if Bubba runs up and hits them, they will pop them right out of that trap. And then, of course, if they're Connies, they're going to just pop right out of that trap. That's it. And last is the basement exit. This is connected to the fuse box located somewhere on the property. Right here is the basement exit. The fuses have been removed, but they are located somewhere around the property. If a victim finds them and puts them in the fuse box properly, the basement door will open for a time, allowing for any victims in the basement to escape. Now, they gave us a cooldown to where we can turn this switch off. This is the notorious switch that they are talking about. It requires them to do a little math. These are old-timey fuses that they used to do back in the day, and they're color coordinated, but they have numbers as well. So the victim has to do kind of like a little math. It's not hard math, but if you're scared and you're afraid, the simplest math can become extremely difficult. Now, why she's doing that, I don't know. I guess it's just the animation part, but normally you'll see fuses just pop into the location like that. There she goes. She's doing it. She's working it, freeing her victims, or I'm sorry, her friends from us, the family. Remember, if any of these exits are open, the family can choose close them again. Sorry. However, until they can be secure, someone must keep an eye on them to stop any victims from escaping. Happy hunting. Yeah, you do have to basically be on the lookout. You have to patrol your property, family. You have to take note of the valves that you see on the side of the buildings. If one is missing, that means a victim has it in their inventory, and they're going to go try to do the pressure gate. If you see a fuse missing, that means they're going to try to go for the fuse box. Alright, let's talk about Grandpa. Grandpa is the head of the family. He was the greatest killer there ever was. Grandpa loves blood And being a part of the family means you must collect and feed it to him as much as possible, which some family members do forget. They are so geared up with securing the property and they forget to feed Grandpa. Not me! Not me! I feed Grandpa whenever I can and as much as I can. Grandpa is asleep at first, but if the victims make too much noises, opening a basement door, or he is fed enough blood, he'll wake up. When Grandpa is awake, he'll be ready to help with the hunt. Now, a lot of survivors will make noise because they just don't care. They think, I don't care, I'll wake up Grandpa. If I wake up Grandpa, it'll let us open up the basement doors. Wrong. Wrong. When you wake up Grandpa, that means he can help us activate our perks. And that also means you're in trouble. Now, I do hate it when they stab Grandpa, though. I hate that. I hate that so much. I can't help it. You know what? Elder abuse is a crime. Shame on you. Yes, yes, I know. It's just a game. It's a tactic. It's what they want you to do. I totally get that. I totally get that. You can collect blood from buckets found around the property or by attacking victims. Every hit gets some. Every hit gets some. If you execute a victim, you get a huge amount to feed to Grandpa. This is me all day. I love feeding Grandpa. I do. I do. I love feeding Grandpa so much. I think it's the healer in me. Like, I love healing, right? So, feeding Grandpa, I feel like I'm healing him, you know? Hey, that's just me, okay? You can only carry as much blood at a time. Avoid wasting any, especially if you have executed a victim by feeding Grandpa as much as possible. This is true, but some perks of the family require that you have some blood on you. So I think that's the reason why a lot of them just forget to feed Grandpa. And Johnny is mooning you, so enjoy. The more blood Grandpa is fed, the more powerful he'll become. Prioritize increasing his strength to locate victims faster. Yes, his howls. His howls. But they also get a notification to hold still. They do. So, I'm like, they get a notification to hold still? Really? Aww. Grandpa hears everything. He can detect victims moving around the property, and he'll let the family know where to find them. Additionally, the family can give him special abilities to aid in the hunt. Wait a minute. Additionally, the family can give him special abilities to aid in the hunt. Oh, they're talking about the perks. Well, we don't really give him the perks. He gives us the perks. Like, she just goes right past him, and Grandpa's like, food, food. This is when he kind of moans a little bit. I don't know why he's moaning. Abilities to assist the family are selected before each match. Choose wisely based on what has been unlocked and your play style. Now, you can't stack these. You cannot stack these, okay? So if you are a family member and you have someone who's queued up ready to go and they have the same perk you do down below, it doesn't cancel each other out. It's just, it doesn't stack. You can't stack that. That's all. That's it. Look, Bubba's looking at her like, oh, over there. Connie's upstairs. By continuously feeding Grandpa, his power level will increase. This will unlock an equip ability and make Grandpa's detection more powerful. So wait a minute, they're saying that our perks are for Grandpa and not for us? Wow. Okay. That sounds cool. I like that. Once at maximum level, Grandpa's detection becomes so powerful, even if the victims are perfectly still, they will still be seen. There is no place to hide. And that's true. Every time Grandpa howls, if he's at the max of 5, you need to go. You need to go. Now, this is the stab that's going to be coming up. Okay? Now, the stabs will decrease Grandpa's level. And for me, I'm cool with that because that means I could feed Grandpa some more. So even when Grandpa's at the max level, I will keep carrying blood on me when this happens. As powerful as Grandpa is, he is still vulnerable to attack. So you will need to protect him from aggressive victims, which there are a lot of them, and toxic ones at that. They will stab Grandpa at level 0. Like, nothing has been activated. No one fed him. He's just a hollow husk. There's no blood coming out of that stab. It's just air, okay? He's just like a balloon, you know? Because family members forget to feed Grandpa. They do. If a victim attacks Grandpa with a bone scrap, his powers will be reduced and he'll be incapacitated for a time, allowing victims to run freely without the fear of detection. Well, from his house anyway. If you have a microphone on, you can hear the feet running around, or if you have a cook, he can lock in on them. So, yeah, that's it. And there are a lot of bone scraps around where Grandpa is. Like, they just want you to stab Grandpa, you know? So this is example, look. See, he's not being seen by Grandpa, even at that, being that close. You'll also lose any Grandpa's abilities that were activated. That's true. That's true. So my advice is carry blood on you. Especially if you know you have victims who love to stab. Keep that blood on you, just in case that happens. To the victims. Yeah. Shifting the advantage to the victims. Sorry. I was looking at that in the video and I was like, huh? Sorry. Make sure you take care of Grandpa. Feed him blood. And let him help the family in the hunt for victims. He's an OG. Back in the day, I think he's a vampire. I really do. His in the movie Part 2 of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they state that he has that diet of blood. That's it, just blood. He was an old butcher back in the day before the machineries came in and took over his job. So, yeah, he killed livestock and he switched it up to humans, and he taught Bubba, Hitchhiker, and Cook these abilities to kill humans. And if you think about it, they're kind of supernatural abilities. So that's why I'm thinking that maybe Grandpa is a vampire. I'm just thinking that. Okay, is it true? I don't know. I just watched the first one, and then I watched the second one. I know there are other ones out there, but that's all I watched. That's it. Have a seat, everyone. It's Grandpa's 101. Honestly, Grandpa being as old as he is, he's probably going to be cussing you out and sounding like this. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, Grandpa, sorry. Okay, we are going to go over the basics of being a killer. I'm not going to talk about perks. No. That's for you to figure out. What I'm going to go over is the basics, so please enjoy. Basic number 1. Feeding Grandpa is important because when you feed Grandpa, he levels. And his perks are activated. I honestly thought they were my perks, but it's all about Grandpa. Grandpa will howl. Now, if you don't see any victims moving when he howls, that's okay because we don't care about that. All you have to do is hit the up button and you will see key elements on the map. You'll see your teammates patrolling. You'll also see key stuff that we have to patrol. Now, if a killer says, hey, I got someone over here, if you hit the up button, you'll know exactly where they're at and who they're kind of struggling with. This is the easiest exit that victims love to do. This is a fuse box holder. The fuse is circled in green. And what does this do? It opens up the basement exit. So if you are patrolling and you see the fuse is missing from the fuse box holder, it's best to alert your teammates that, hey, a fuse is missing over here. They might be going for the basement exit. Now, I don't know if the fuse falls out of their pockets when they die. That part, I don't know, nor do I care. Now, you might be wondering, well, where is the fuse box? This is gas station. Usually it's in here or it's in the other room, but the fuse will change its location. It's randomly generated. This is what they want. They put the fuse in there and they play a little mini game. Now, it's always important to destroy these crawl spaces if you are Bubba, because he destroys them completely. You guys want to check this out? Look. Boom! Da, 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 da. Who thought of that? Who thought of that? My goodness. As you can see, the fuses is in the fuse box, and then they just have to do the minigame. Now, you can stop this by hitting them or scaring them off, but another victim will come along and finish what they left behind. Now, as for the fuse box timer cooldown, I don't know. But the basement door will open. Now, there is a timer for this to close. They can go back up to that fuse box and then just hit that switch over and over again. Now, if you can organize your family, you can body block the basement exit. But this is what they always do because it's so easy to escape from. Under pressure. Because that's what we are under when this thing is activated. This is the valve exit. This opens up the pressure gate, or what I like to call running of the bulls. As you can see, no one has messed with this. Victims have not messed with this. Why? Because there's no red handle right here. So we're pretty good. We're pretty good. Now, when there is a red handle on there, that means a victim is lurking because they are waiting for their opportunity to turn this valve and activate the pressure gates. The valves that they're looking for are these right here. So if you are patrolling and you see the red handle missing from these pipes, it's time to tell your teammates, hey, I just patrolled. The red handle's missing from these pipes over here. They might be going for pressure gate. That will help you patrol that area because they love to do the pressure gate. Once the steam is going, that means the pressure gate has been activated. The gate is over here in blue, and that is an automatic open. The only way we can shut it down is by either going to the basement or going to where the valve is and then turning it very slowly. The video footage you are seeing is me when I was new. I didn't know how to run, and then I realized this was a dangerous move for me, because if you go down to the basement by yourself, or even go to turn this off by yourself, a victim will stab you in the back to buy them more time. Now, this girl was the last victim. As you can see, the pressure gauge, I'm trying to stop it from getting to green. So I had to calculate. Do I continue to turn this valve, or do I go after Connie? What to do? What to do? Well, I mean, the name of the game is to kill the victims, right? So that's exactly what I did. Now, it was dark down here in this basement, but that slight movement and that orange or red hair activated my killer instinct, and I destroyed the evil Connie. I'm sorry. So always be out on patrol, look for the key items. If they're missing, then be on alert. And destroy these barricades for the other killers so they have the ability to run after the victims freely. Now I want to show you this. I saw a TikTok about this lock. A TikToker went over there and did an experiment. They had a victim mess with the lock, got it to level 2 on the lockpick, and then stopped. And then the cook took the lock down and put it back, and it was a brand new lock. And then I realized that's the reason why the cook was getting a lot of XP, because that is what it was designed to do. They wanted you to take the locks down and put them back up, because this is the key element they wanted you to figure out. But again, another TikTok showed up about them manipulating the XP for this, and then they nerfed it. But they didn't nerf the fact that the lock could take down the lock and put a lock back on and it'd be brand new. So enjoy it before they nerf the cook. That. Up next is the electrified exits, or what I like to call the RGE. That. Because when you say rear, you know, you might be saying rear, and then they look at you like, were you talking about my butt? I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Now, if it's red, that means it's activated. If it's green, it means it's off. Green for the victims to know that the gate is off. Red for us to, okay, yeah, we got it. We totally got it. Okay, again, destroy these crawl spaces as Bubba, because only Bubba can destroy them. Now, to figure out how do I turn it back on, look at this. Look at the electrical wire down here. It leads you to the source that you need to either turn it back on or turn it off. These are the wonderful generators. Now, they do take a long time to turn back on, no matter what map you are on. Same for the car battery. And it could be the same for the fuse box. Again, I have not interacted with the fuse box, so I can't tell you if it's a long time or not. Now, I heard some victims cry about the fact that it takes so long for them to kick this off. Well, it takes us twice as long to turn it back on. Now, I did hear the victims say, oh, if your strength is up there, it's easier to kick those off. And I'm like, well, how is it easy for the car battery? You're just turning the knob, right? Anyway, guys, you run the risk of being stabbed by victims, because they will stab you when you're messing with these items. Do not have any mercy on these victims, because they love trolling you. They love teabagging you. They love it. So why give them that much entertainment? Why not go out there and make it harder for them? Challenge them. Make them work as a team and be quiet, because Grandpa needs his sleep. Now, the following video footage I'm about to show you is me on the hunt. This is one of the elements I think is overlooked in the game. I like to make victims bleed. Why? Well, they leave a nice little trail of blood on the floor. And I cut into Julie earlier, and she's bleeding right here. There's like little tiny trickles and then a pool there, but not in the crack of the wall. And I thought, could she be in here? And she was. You pull her out like a party crasher who just won't go home. I thought that was kind of funny. But you see, she's bleeding. She is bleeding, and it's leading me to her. I thought this was interesting. She tried to heal, and then she kind of ran off, and it looked like she was healing while running. But she's leaving a lot of blood behind. Now, I have been playing this game maybe a little too much. I like to destroy these doors that I know will cause my teammates some problems. And I watched the screen like crazy, and I noticed her jumping back into the well. And I thought, really? Because I know where that well is. It's through the barn doors. Now, sometimes when victims jump through a well, they are randomly dropped in certain locations, but this particular one goes right through this barn door. And I thought, now, would she know to run? Or would she just kind of Hover. Well, she hovered. She tried to lock pick this, and it just didn't do any good for her. But again, the blood. You see the blood down there? I'm following it, and I'm tracking her, and I'm thinking, she went back in here? Now, I know there are crawl spaces to this one particular room. I tried to attack her, just not quick enough. Now, my tip for you guys is to always strike near their hips or their butt or their legs. And, most importantly, never ever waste your melee attacks. Let them waste their stamina. Because when you use your melee attacks, you waste your stamina. And track their blood. As long as they are cut and didn't heal fully, you can find them and say, hey, guess what? Hide and seek's over, Julie. Tag, you're it. Now I'll go hide as Leatherface and you find me. I'm sorry. But that's it, guys. I hope this helps you on finding these victims. Bubba's like, well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is ComancheNative, and I hope to hunt you later.